Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
You are now tuned in to this week's episode of our podcast. Today we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. By sharing our collective expertise, we will show you how to harness, control, and use your own skill set to achieve ultimate success and live the life you want. And now, please welcome your host.
It's good to have you on the show once again. This is Omobola Stephen, you're also on Life Well Lived. Life Well Lived is the self-improvement and personal development podcast with the occasion of expert and professionals who come to share disruptive mindshift podcast content on any topics on the personal development and self-improvement. I'm happy to have Gael on the show today. Gael is an author and an entrepreneur. Welcome to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Gael.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Great to have you on the show, Gail. Now, Gail is an entrepreneur, as I said earlier. She helps people shift their beliefs, declutter anything that's no longer serving them, while they take action to create the business and life they desire. Now, I'm looking forward to your professional insight on today's topic of discussion, especially when we want to focus on personal development in general. Now, Gail, how can people declutter amidst a chaotic environment they find themselves?
How can they declutter what?
How can people declutter themselves amidst the chaotic environment they find themselves?
Yes. So, we pick up things our whole lives from the minute we're learning to walk and talk from our parents. They say, oh, be quiet. No, we pick up so many things, and all of that, we're carrying that around with us. All of those belief systems and things that we think, this is the way it is. And what I like to do is question everything. Is that belief serving me? Do I truly believe that? Or did I just pick that up somewhere along the way and integrate it? It can be really surprising where some of these sneaky little beliefs can come from that hold us back from shining our light, from taking a risk, from doing the things that we wish to do. So I think it's a fun process to dig into that stuff and to say, you know what, I'm not going to believe that anymore. I used to believe that, and now I'm going to believe something else. And it can take a while when we pick a new belief. We can fall back and still that old belief will keep popping up. But if we stick with it and keep moving forward, we can develop new belief systems that serve us better, that help us to do the things that we want to do.
All right. Now, so why a scheduled declutter? Why would you recommend it for your clients?
Oh, scheduled declutter. That's another one. The main reason I hear that people aren't taking action is I don't have enough time. I would write a book, but I don't have time. I would take these classes, but I don't have time. So when we can really look at how we spend our time, we can find the time that we need to do the things that we want to do. And it's often one that we're wasting time. We all waste time in some areas. But the other thing is, especially like you and I are moms, sometimes we're doing things for many years and we don't realize, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. My child's 12, they can pack their own lunch. Little things like that can really add up when you start looking at where your time's going. I realized all kinds of little things that I thought were nothing, an extra trip to the store, driving to the bank for my husband, lots of little things. But when I added up that 30 minutes a week plus 15 minutes a week over months and even years, I thought I've spent 12 days of my life driving to the bank. And when you think of it that way, you're like, why am I doing this? There's an app for that. And part of that was, just sometimes we feel like, oh, well, learning to use that new tool that's going to help me save time is too time consuming. But when we look at the big picture and add up the time it'll save over the years, then we think, okay, I can spend 2 or 3 hours learning how to use this new system, or learning how to order my groceries online, or something that maybe we've kind of been putting off.
Right. I'd like you to talk about priorities here. I'm talking about scheduling our priorities, right? We're in a chaotic world, right? An ever dynamic world. So talk about scheduling your priorities.
Yeah, so
how easy can one do that, right? And in the sense that you can be able to focus on what is truly important.
Yeah, I think for me, it's a matter of just kind of going day by day. Different priorities will kind of rise to the top. I mean, if I'm teaching a class and that class is in 2 days, well, preparing for that class, of course, becomes the priority of that day. But I think what's really important too is to realize what things are generally not priorities. And for me, that's administrative work, checking emails, maybe paying the bills. These are not priorities over my writing or preparing for classes, or even, doing my marketing activities. Those things do have to get done. But I would say if we start doing those things first, we can often waste our whole day on the little things and never get to the big things. So it's like, figure out your big priorities for the day. I like to pick my top 3 for the day. Like if I got nothing else done today, what are the 3 things I really need to do? And then do those first, because sometimes after lunch the day falls apart.
You're right.
The house breaks or the kid gets sick. So if you can just, put your first priorities first. I love to even do my writing and a few things like before the rest of my house even wakes up. I get up early. I have my time to plan my day. And sometimes I'll jump into a project and use that early morning time really effectively. So that's a matter of figuring out what's going to work for you.
That's right. So I think it's a very personal stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Gail, what are some of the healthy lifestyle habits that we can adopt every day? It's not easy to adopt this lifestyle, but we need to do that in order to find equilibrium, right? And also to attain, an optimum life that we truly desire. In this chaotic world, I will always emphasize that, because this is just a reality we have to face. So what are some of the healthy lifestyles that we can adopt, going by your professional expertise? And if you'd like to share your personal experience, in regards to this.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear the question.
All right. No worries. I wanted to ask you, what are some of the healthy lifestyle habits that we can adopt every day? Because the reality is that we are in a chaotic environment,
yes.
chaotic world. So we need healthy lifestyles, right? That can help us to achieve an optimum life that we really desire. So I'd like you to share your professional expertise and also your personal experience, if you do have, in this regard. Yeah,
so lifestyle things, I think some of the most important ones for me are to not look at my phone for the first few hours of the day. And that one is something that, I'm a work in progress, but the days where I don't look at my phone until 9 or 10 a.m. are my best days, because
wow.
And some days I end up with my, checking, I'll hear it and I'll look at it, and it'll be, I have a couple of virtual assistants and they're messaging me. And then all of a sudden I'm kind of in the chaos of the day where I just need, as a creative, as an entrepreneur, if I can do my creative work first, if I can really do my planning and really spend some time motivating myself. So that's something I do, daily. If I have a problem, I try to work through that problem in my journal. Like, what's really going on here? Why am I feeling stuck? I do affirmations and review my goals and things like that. And so doing those things, it just makes a huge difference. And I can tell when I spend a few days and don't do those things.
Right.
So I don't feel good.
Yeah. No, this is really personal, Gail. Like for me, as you just said, like for me, I can wake up early in the morning like that, and I can, get to some messages on my mailbox or on my phone, right? I think that programming, right? Our mindset has a lot to do with it, and our programming, right? Sometimes I see messages about to my mailbox, and I see important messages that I can attend to at that point. But because I've already told myself that Omobola, this is not important at this time, so I can just ignore it and attend to stuff that are important. So there is a personal, I think it's really personal here, but so we just have to find a way around things and just ensure at the end of the day that things really work the way we wanted it to be.
Yeah. And it's not about, to me, it's not about those emails not being important.
That's right.
It's that they're going to be just as important at 10 a.m. as they are at 7 a.m.
Right.
So, and we're in a world where it's like we can just be reacting all day long. And when we're reacting, we're not being proactive.
That's right.
So it's just something, like everybody's got to set up their own systems that work for them. I keep my phone across the house in the kitchen when I go to bed at night. But that's because I know my husband's got his phone. So emergencies are handled. He would get an emergency call.
All right. That's true. We need to also understand, the environment we find ourselves. That's really important.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not everybody can be without their phone like that.
Sure. Like my husband is always with his phone 24 hours because his business demands that. Yeah. So I quite understand. So, Gael, how can we cultivate an attitude of gratitude?
This is one of my favorite topics. So I actually wrote a book, The Gratitude Habit. So, and I'd love to send you a copy if you want one. But years ago, I was having just a really hard time in my life. And I just started trying to think of things I was grateful for. I was like, I have to shift my energy. I have to get up and go to work. And I found that thinking of things I was grateful for, just raised my energy just a little bit. I couldn't sleep at night. I was so stressed out. And I thought, well, I'm just going to think of things I'm grateful for. Since I can't sleep anyway, I might as well think of things I'm grateful for. But then I found that would calm me down and I would be able to fall asleep. So I just got into this habit that whenever things get stressful, I just try to find the gratitude in that situation. So this morning I'm having some problem in my business where I sell certain products on a payment plan. Well, then I wake up and I see, people's payments aren't going through and I'm getting stressed out. I'm like, why aren't they paying? What's going on? It could be something as simple as, they had to change their debit card number. And a lot of times it is something like that. And all we need to do is email and they straighten it out. So, but it's easy to flip into that kind of stressed out mode of they're not paying. They're trying to not pay. And I just was kind of stomping around my house, stressing out, but trying, I was mad about it. And I thought, wait, stop. I was like, you know what? I'm really grateful for the people that are making their payments. I'm really grateful. I have a virtual assistant who's going to meet with me this morning and we're going to make a plan on how to handle the situation. And I don't have to handle it all by myself, so I just found the things to be grateful for in that situation. And I was like, well, I'm grateful that this will help me get my system set up.
Yeah.
And